So in my words, the Steam page about Bikini by Rehydrated got a facelift, and we got so much we want to break down, including some potential hints that the game may be coming soon. Let's discuss right now.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
A quick shout out to Condratin. This is a fan art Metal Duckles that they drew, and Metal Duckles looks like a god here. And I'm like, yes, finally someone realizes the true greatness of the Duckles Overlord. So, and this is not the only fan art. He also made a few GIFs actually of Metal Duckles, and there's one in particular where Metal Duckles turns into Super Metal Duckles, I think, or is it Hyper Metal Duckles? I mean, I don't know why I'm asking myself this. I should be the one that's telling you all which one it is, but I need to think about it. But no, this is all really amazing stuff. And yeah, just thank you so much for taking Metal Duckles and putting your own spin on him. I really appreciate it. Anyway, hello there, beautiful human. My name is RidersDX. Welcome to my channel, where today we've got so much that we need to talk about, and I'm actually a little bit scared of how long this video is gonna be, because you know me, I'm just an absolute loser about all these things, tiniest details I just want to talk about. But I don't know, I guess that's why you're subscribed, right? You're subscribed because you like that kind of neurotic thinking. But anyway, to get to the point of the video, the Steam page about Bikini by Rehydrated recently got a whole bunch of new updates, and we got to see so many new things that we never seen before reviewed on the Steam page. And there's even some hints, I think, that may refer to the game coming out sooner than we may be thinking. And so let's go ahead and get into it. I have a list of 10 things that I want to go through, and you know what, I just wanted to say this over here, for those people that are going to be Riders, are you really going to be the guy that's going to make a so-and-so minute long video on 5 GIFs? And my answer to that is, of course I am. Oh my gosh. And number one, we got our very first look at Sandy. I thought I would just kind of start with one of the biggest things, because up to this point we've not seen any shots or videos of Sandy whatsoever. And so I didn't even get to see Sandy when I got to watch the PAX East build. And so this is really big for me to kind of see Sandy walking like this. And the first thing I noticed with watching Sandy is that her moving animation looks to be ripped directly from the game. You know, it's not like with Spongebob where it looks slightly different. This one looks pretty much exactly like it was in the original game, and you know, it almost seems like the original game, but just upscaled to new graphics and such, which is basically what the game is at its base. But man, yeah, Sandy just looks so cool here, and I can't wait to see her do more things, doing her karate chops, swinging from the Texas stuff, you know, those Texas symbols and such. Yeah, I'm really excited to see more of Sandy. And number two, while we're on this GIF, we also got our first look at Industrial Park, and so this is very interesting look for the level, boss, because it definitely looks like it's been brightened up from the original game. The original game really had this dark, gloomy kind of feel to it with Industrial Park, but this one has more of a light brownish color, and the colors definitely seem to contrast a little bit more, although it still looks pretty gross and such. And so I still think that they've got the right idea. One thing that I noticed that is very interesting is that the conveyor belts have arrows on them now, and so I guess that'll make it a little bit easier for people to know what direction the conveyor belts are going before they start moving in that direction, and realize it before it's too late. So I thought that was an interesting change. And at number three, I want to talk about Robot Patrick himself. And so I don't know about you guys, but there's just something about the robot that just seems a little bit off to me. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about him that looks drastically different from the original one. But when I look at them side to side, they actually look pretty similar. So maybe it's just seeing a robot for the first time, because you know, we haven't actually seen a Robot Patrick, Sandy, or Spongebob in this game yet. This is the first time we're seeing one of the big boss robots, and so maybe it's just that shock that I need to just kind of get used to. But there's just something about this robot that looks really different from the original one, but I can't put my finger on it. And so if any of you all kind of have similar feelings, then let me know in the comment section below, and then we can definitely talk about it. Some other things I wanted to point out is when he's spitting out that ice cream. First of all, that ice cream that he's spitting out does not look like ice cream anymore. It looks like vomit, literal vomit, which makes more sense, I guess, but it makes him that much more menacing. A very interesting thing though is seeing these red targets appear on the stage, and so now you know where the ice cream is going to hit, and so now you know exactly how to avoid it. And I've seen some mixed comments about this online. Like, some people think that's a nice addition, you know, make it more clear, especially for newer players, but some people also think that's not really necessary because you are able to avoid the ice cream just fine without it. And so if anything, it makes it like easier. And I will say that like I don't have any problems with being this boss anymore. You know, it's pretty much like a cakewalk to me, and so it's not really something that I really thought was necessary, but it's not really something that harms the game's experience either, and so I'm perfectly okay with it. And who knows, you know, I have seen videos of people like absolutely like getting really frustrated at this game, and so, you know, just because I played this game for so long, it might just make it seem like, oh, you know, I don't really think the game needs to be made easier. But because I played this game for so many times, like throughout my whole childhood, I have to think about the fact that like I'm not coming into this game as like the typical person that would be introduced to this game for the very first time. You know, there will be people playing this game for the very first time that may find it to be difficult. Like, I've seen a lot of videos of people like struggling through this game, and it still shocks me, you know, but I have to think like it makes sense because I've been with this game like so long. So I don't know, don't make too big of a deal out of it. You know, it's not actually changing the mechanics of the boss itself, it's just giving you some more visual cues to help make it a little bit easier for you, and that's basically all there is to it. Now if they changed the actual like boss itself and made it easier, then we'd have another discussion here. And number 4, we also got to see Sandy's dream for the very first time, and wow, there's a lot to take in over here. And so first of all, there's this bright blue skybox that we have now, basically encapsulating the entire level, and it looks gorgeous. I love that color, and it makes Texas just like seem like it's got this real glow up now, and so I'm really excited about it. Also, the level just seems to have this like very cartoonish look to it. The clouds in the background almost look like they're cel shaded, which is slightly different from what we've seen so far, and so I think that kind of helps to like exacerbate the dream-like vibe of the level more, because obviously it's SpongeBob's dream, like that's the level itself, and so having it be more cartoony makes sense, and I really like it. One thing I noticed here that's missing from the original level though is that you don't have that Texas ground in the background like you did in the original game, and so I'm wondering if that's something they decided to like remove. Like maybe if they wanted to like include it here, they would have had to make like actual buildings and such, because you know, just having like a 2D graphic in the background is probably not passable now in terms of graphics, and so maybe that's why they decided to remove it, because that would have taken like too many resources. I don't really have an issue with it either way. I just thought it was an interesting thing that they changed. At number 5, I wanted to address this actually because I've seen some people commenting about this on my Discord in particular. And that is Sandy's sliding speed. And so looking at this GIF, you know, and I'm playing this at like the original speed, you know, I'm just looping it over and over again, but Sandy does look like she's sliding a little bit slower than like you would expect on the sliding level. I will say this, when I was at PAX East and I watched Garrulous slide in Jellyfish Fields, SpongeBob's sliding speed was just as fast as it was in the original game. Like, I did not see a significant difference like you see here. And so I do think that whoever was playing this was holding back the speed, maybe so that you could get like a better view of her surroundings and such. And so don't be alarmed. I think it's just the player like holding back the speed. I don't think that you're actually only allowed to go this slow, because oof, that would be such like a huge oversight in my opinion, because that would just make the sliding so much less fun. At number 6, we also got to see Patrick revealed in motion, and so I actually did get to see Patrick play at PAX East, but being able to see him again, you know, afterwards, because it's been a few weeks since I've seen him, you know, it's really cool to see him in motion, you know, online and get to kind of share with all of you, because yeah, Patrick just looks so bubbly and cute in this game, and I'm really excited to see him like more so in the game. My favorite part of his movements is just like how animated his belly is when you jump. You know, it just makes him seem like that much more like, he seems more spongy than SpongeBob, to be honest. And so I thought that was really cool. And while we're on this GIF, you know, we also got to see the Mermalair, and so this is very interesting because the Mermalair definitely got this like much more like bright blue color scheme compared to the darker tones of the original, and this is very in line with the game's overall art direction. If you want to hear more about my opinions on that, then you can check out my previous Battlefield Bikini Bottom Rehydrated video where I talk with Garrulous64 and Dave Ace about a lot of things with the game, including the art direction. And number 8, we got to see our very first look at Rock Bottom. And so, speaking of the art direction though, I mentioned how everything just seems to be much more brightened and more contrasted compared to the original game. Look at Rock Bottom here, that actually seems to be a very accurate representation of the original level. It still looks very dark and gloomy and doesn't really have that much color contrast compared to the other levels. And I personally am very glad for that, because I couldn't imagine Rock Bottom being more like bright and colorful compared to like the other levels. Like the other levels, it makes sense, but Rock Bottom, no, that level has to be dark because it's Rock Bottom. Like, it's in the name itself. Rock Bottom is supposed to be this dark and grungy place that like is completely out of the blue in the Spongebob universe, and I'm glad that they decided to keep that. By the way, this GIF is no longer on the Steam page apparently, so extra shout outs to San Mario for saving this and like providing me with it, because otherwise we would not have it. So thank you again, San Mario, for providing this for us. One more thing to mention is that it looks very near identical to the concept art that was released a while back, and so I think we can expect Downtown Bikini Bottom to look very similar to its concept art as well, based off of this. And number 9, so there was one more GIF of SpongeBob in Jellyfish Field, so you wouldn't think there was like much reviewed here, but if you look in the background, you see some hints of Downtown Bikini Bottom, and this actually confirms like a thought that I had in the previous video, that I'm like, oh wait, maybe it's this actually. I thought that when I talked about Battlefield Bikini Bottom Rehydrated in my 15 things to know video, I mentioned that I saw a world map in the game and that I saw like a lighthouse in particular, and I thought that was a new level. But now looking at this backdrop, I realized, you know what, I think that was just Downtown Bikini Bottom. I don't know why, like I just kind of forgot that there was a lighthouse in Downtown Bikini Bottom. I think it's because I would expect to see like the sea needle represented in the Downtown Bikini Bottom like image, because when you have an image on a level select screen that's supposed to represent the whole level, I kind of assumed that the sea needle would have an appearance here, because that takes up like a good quarter of the level, and so that's why I must have thought it was a brand new level. But no, I think it was Downtown Bikini Bottom, just like looking at this, because the lighthouse in this image looks very similar to the lighthouse I saw in that level select screen. So I actually did not remember like any snippets of like new levels, unfortunately. I'm so mad at myself for not paying attention more, but I'll cry in my soapbox in another video. And number 10, so that's actually it for all the GIFs, but I wanted to highlight the Steam page itself, because there are some new things I saw on there that I think are new. I'm not 100% certain that these are new completely, but from what I remember covering before, I don't remember covering this before, so I'm assuming they're new, but let me know if they have actually been there for a while and that you've always known that I just did not pay attention. But there is a languages section on the Steam page, and I actually found this because of Noam in my Discord server. And so on the Steam page, you see that you can see a list of languages that the game supports, and you see the check marks of the full audio in particular. It looks like we're gonna get dubs of the French, Italian, German, Spanish, Japanese, and Polish versions. Now, I'm not sure what dubs the original game had, so it might just be the dubs from the original game. If anyone can let me know that in the comment section below, then that'd be great. I do know the German one's being redone, from what they said, but are there any dubs on this list that weren't in the original game? Let me know if you know in the comment section below. I'd be really interested in hearing that. One thing I also want to point out is that in the system requirements, you can kind of see how everything says I'm ready. Can anyone let me know if that's new or not? Because I don't recall seeing this in the system requirements, but then again, I don't remember seeing anything in the system requirements in general, so maybe I'm just not remembering correctly. However, some people have speculated that this may point to the game's release date coming very, very soon. I'm ready is pretty like big thing to say with SpongeBob in general, and so it may point to like the game coming out really soon. I do want to note that THQ Nordic has been teasing a lot on social media. I'm showing a few tweets of THQ Nordic responding to people asking like when the game's coming out and such, and they keep saying like soon, posting like funny GIFs and all that, almost like mocking the audience in a way, because you know what, I have to let y'all know the truth. Y'all are pretty crazy. Y'all are pretty crazy about like wanting this game to come out, and I say this out of like a place of love. You all are just so passionate about this game that you are constantly like berating like my comment section, my Twitter DMs about like when the release date is, thinking you found it and such. And I'm like, truth be told, no one knows when the release date is coming until THQ Nordic releases a statement themselves about the release date. And so it's really great to see that like people are so passionate about this game and really want to know when it's going to come out. But if y'all recall, the last time the THQ Nordic like teased people this much, in fact they're teasing people more this time than they did last time, but the last time they did this in my memory was before this game was announced. I remember when this game wasn't even announced yet and it was like May or like April, and then people were asking them about like Nickelodeon games and they were posting like Spongebob GIFs in response to them. And so this tells me that if THQ Nordic is actively teasing people on social media, that they are planning to review something soon. And you know what, they just did, obviously, but these comments, you know, are responding directly to release date questions. And so I think it's only a matter of time before we get it. And so you know what, people, just hold your horses. It's coming. This game is gonna come out this year. Like, don't worry, you know, it looks like it's pretty far in development now, and I just am like really excited to play this game with you all for the very first time. You know, I'm just so excited to see it in motion, and these screenshots and GIFs have definitely like reignited the hype. And so I'm so glad y'all got to see these things. I really hope that you all are liking everything coming out this game so far. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Which of my 10 bullet points did you all find to be the most interesting? Let me know why or why not in the comment section below, and let me know what you hope they review next. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe to my channel if you like videos like these, want to see more in the future, follow me on Twitter or Twitch, and join my Discord server, the Spongy Garden. Special shout out to Reese Gaming, Team Rival Sonic Gamer, Glitch Dolphin, Andrew Coughlin, Desiree Webb, and New Gamer Hub. These are my patrons / YouTube members. If you'd like to become a patron or YouTube member, get access to a whole bunch of different perks, then please check out the links in the description box below. But alright, this is Riders, riding out.